Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about 10 things that I wish I knew before becoming a mom. First, I want to put a disclaimer, and I just want to let everyone know who's watching this video, whether you subscribe to me or not. If you don't, you definitely should. And just say, I love being a mom. My channel is in no way a place where I will ever reflect negatively on being a mom. That's not something that I really support in my journey through motherhood. I know that there are some moms out there who have tough times going through motherhood, and they believe that it's okay to broadcast the tough times that they're having. However, I know that one day Melody or any other child that I have could possibly look back on my channel, and I don't ever want them to get the feeling that I didn't like motherhood or that I didn't like taking care of them or anything like that. So therefore, I only want to broadcast positive things or broadcast a more positive side to negative things that happen during momhood. Everyone's lining up to see. I'm going to start pretty light with the things I wish I knew, and that is to buy newborn clothing and 0 to 3 month clothing. I know that it's very popular to say you don't need to buy newborn clothing, but Melody was in newborn clothing for, I think, the first 2 months of her life, and the only reason she really went to 0 to 3 clothing once she hit 3 months was mainly because she got very long, and so when it came to sleepers and footed onesies, she could not go into them at the newborn stage because her legs were just way too long, and so her toes were very uncomfortable in those type of clothing. So that is why she went up to 0 to 3 months, and currently she's in the middle of 0 to 3 and 3 to 6. So when it comes to like footed things, she can wear 3 to 6, but she can also still fit in like her 0 to 3 t-shirts and things like that. Second thing is, even if you are a first-time mom and you think that you're gonna want to dress your baby up at every chance you get, sleepers and footed onesies are going to be your best friend. I was one of those moms who, even though I watched so many videos that warned that you are going to want to buy a ton of sleepers and onesie or footed onesies and things like that, I went ahead and still bought a ton of two-piece sets, dresses, and the amount of clothing that Melody did not wear is crazy because she was basically wearing the same zip-up onesies or any type of sleeper over and over again. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you that they are going to be your best friend. Whether you believe it or not, you're going to reach. The third thing is something that I have come to realize this past week, and it is a little bit sad, and that is that contact naps don't last forever. I was just reflecting the other day, and I even posted a story on my Instagram, and I was just thinking about how Melody hasn't needed to fall asleep on me in a while, and in fact, unless we're in public and she's being held the whole time, like if we're in church, she honestly hasn't just fell asleep on me in the longest time. She always lets me know that she needs to be put down, and I feel she even kind of prefers to be put down and fall asleep that way rather than sleeping on me. It's a little sad, and of course I miss it. So I just want you to know they don't last forever, so definitely enjoy contact naps while you can. I know it's very popular for people to say that you are spoiling your baby if you're doing contact naps, or you are teaching them that they'll want to be held all the time, but that is not true. Just enjoy it while you can. Fourth thing that I wish that I had knew to do is to look for small routines in the beginning stages. I won't say the first week when you're home, but probably around the second to third week that you have your baby home, you should be able to start to notice some small routines. And I mean looking for routines between nap times, bedtime, bath time, anything like that, so that way you know how you can plan your personal day around the day that you have with your baby. So Melody typically wakes up and goes to sleep around the same time. Right now it is a little tough because she is kind of going through sleep regression, so she's not going to sleep at the exact same time. She is taking a couple more naps during the day or longer naps during the day, and then she has been waking up at least once at night, but it is typically around the same time. So just try to look for things like that. So if you notice that your baby wakes up at 7 a.m. but they also go back to sleep by 9 a.m. and then they'll wake up by 12, and then they'll go back to sleep around like 2 and wake up around 4 or 5. Try to keep things like that in mind, so that way you can already prepare yourself and schedule your day around your baby's sleep times. Fifth thing that I want to talk about is something that I feel like we all go through, especially when you have a doctor who highly recommends breastfeeding. And I feel like that is what most people talk about is breastfeeding. It's now there are a couple of pages on Instagram that talk about how combo feeding or formula feeding is really okay and really supports it, but that's not something you hear a lot. And I wish that I knew how okay combo feeding was. I didn't think I was going to be one of the moms I was going to be a mom who felt any type of way about whichever way I feed Melody or fed Melody, but I did have my heart set on breastfeeding, and it just didn't work out that way for me. Personally, I feel it was kind of my fault, but it's honestly just sometimes it happens, things don't go as planned. But now that I have been feeding Melody formula for about 3 months, I don't really feel any type of way. It is getting a little bit sadder for me because my boob milk is almost fully gone, so that's a little bit sad. But at the end of the day, she's getting fed, she's growing, and feeding her is still a bonding time for both of us, so it's not that big of a deal. So if you are someone who is worried that you might not be able to breastfeed your baby, or you might have trouble breastfeeding your baby, I'm here to let you know that combo feeding, or even if you are fully formula feeding, whatever you choose, it is completely okay. Next thing that I want to say is babies cry, and they cry a lot just because they're babies. I know that you can watch a lot of these vlogs and moms taking care of their babies on YouTube or Instagram or any social media site, and they don't really show that their babies cry. But that is just mainly because when it comes to social media, you tend to only really show the positive sides of things. That is one thing that I'm trying to work on for my channel, is making sure that my channel is very realistic, and just making sure that I show the good and the bad. But babies do cry, and sometimes they're not even crying. Sometimes they're not even crying because they're hungry or sleepy. Sometimes they're just crying just to cry. Sometimes they're just crying because they want your attention, or just because that's the way that they can communicate with you at that moment. So just be aware of it, so you're not surprised when your baby comes out. They also scream. Number 7 is that not all babies grow the same, and this is something that I was vaguely aware of, but when it came to going to doctor's appointments and your doctor is having you come back every week because she doesn't think your baby is growing at the rate that she wants it to, that can be very frustrating, and that's actually what happened to me. So number 8 is that connection grows, and I feel like this is kind of a deep topic because this is a topic that is very talked about. Everybody says that once your baby is born, you immediately feel that connection, and I'm gonna be honest, when Melody was born, I felt connection to her. I had that deep I love her, this is my baby connection, but I was also very out of it. Once she was born, she was only on my chest for literally 2 seconds before I was passing out. But every day that you are taking care of your baby, your feelings or love towards your baby is going to continue to grow and get stronger, and it's just taking care of her and being with her and learning her and her personality is what's going to make your connection with your baby grow. It's not always immediate for everyone, and that's really okay. It doesn't mean that anything's wrong. You don't have to worry about anything. It can take a longer time for dads to connect with the baby than it does for a mom to connect, because for a mom, you have carried this baby for 9 months. You have, fed this baby through you eating through your body, and now she's out. You're constantly taking care of her. You're feeding her. You're sleeping with her. You're always with her. Whereas dads, typically they are the ones working, taking care of the household and things like that. So it can take a little bit longer for dads to find that deep connection with their baby. Number 9 is something that I wish I had have done in the beginning months with Melody. I am doing it now, and I very much underestimated before she was born how much I would let other people's opinions affect me and what I did to take care of her. And that is that you don't have to listen to other people. You don't have to take their advice. You don't even have to listen to their advice. You don't have to ask for people's advice. You don't have to listen to people. Now I don't have that problem. If someone comes over and I don't want them to hold Melody, I don't want them to do anything, they don't do it. In fact, if I think that they won't listen to me, then they just don't come over. I don't leave Melody with anybody who I don't trust or who I don't think will value the way I want her to be taken care of. And that's something that you should already know, that you don't have to listen to other people. You don't have to let anybody see your baby or let them touch your baby if they don't respect you as your baby's parent. And we come to the last thing that I wish I knew as a first-time mom, and this is honestly for just the moms themselves, and that is that even at 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, however many months, your body is still healing. Even if you get that okay at your 6-week postpartum appointment, your body is still going to be healing. Sometimes I still feel down or feel like my body is just doing weird things, and that's because, you know, just because you got the okay at your 6-week appointment doesn't mean your body still doesn't have, you know, to get back into the motion of things. It can take longer. I think it takes different time periods for different people. Is not all the same. Sometimes I still have cramps in my stomach that I don't know where they're coming from, or my muscles feel sore, things like that. Your body is still healing. Sometimes I've even heard mothers say that a year later their body is still healing from postpartum. It's a journey and it's not going to go away. It's a journey and it's not going to go away that fast. You literally carried a baby for 9 months and then pushed it out of your body. So I don't know why I even thought that I could carry something or someone for 9 months and then be okay 6 weeks after she was born. It doesn't work like that. I've had her here playing on her mat, and you have heard that she has been very talkative. Her new favorite thing lately is scream talking. Isn't that right, mommy? Isn't that right, mommy? That is her new favorite thing, is to be screaming. That is the way she has been talking lately. So, isn't that right, mama? Okay, bye. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa.